Hey everyone, Mandy here. So the other day, in one of my videos, I asked you guys, for a special show, would you prefer time trials or would you prefer draw? And out of 85 comments, just on the YouTube channel, I had, I think, only 9 that said they just want draw. And then 5 were kind of stuck in the middle, and then the rest were all time trials. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about my opinion and kind of discuss back and forth with what everyone else commented and what they said and what I think would probably be the best option for special shows. So when I said time trials, a lot of people were thinking what a lot of the sprint car series and tracks used to do is send the cars out one by one by one. No, I find that is extremely time consuming, and I honestly do not think that is fair at all, because say there's 40 cars, alright? The track is going to be completely different from the first car to the last car. The track could get faster, the track could get slower, so I don't think that's fair at all. What I am highly suggesting is having timed groups. So when you show up to the track, you sign in, you draw a number. You can draw 99 out of 100 and actually not be, upset about it, because that will just put you in a group. So say 1 through 10, they're in their group, 11 through 20, whatever, they're in group 2. So you actually go out in your groups and time trial with them. So you don't have to worry about the track changing. You're on the track with those other cars. So my problem with special shows when they draw, I really hope that I don't offend anyone. I know there's gonna be someone that's gonna be butthurt about this, but I'm gonna tell you guys anyways. So my problem with draw is that, there could be the best of the best there. They can draw horrible and not even make the show because, I don't know, bad luck, you're starting behind a bunch of inexperienced guys. When you're running in the back, it's really tough, especially if the track isn't passy enough in the beginning of the night, so you might not even qualify. And a lot of fans out there are like, well, if he's a good driver, he should be able to pass cars and qualify. Well, it all depends, on the car, on the driver, and especially on the track. Because if that track isn't racy in the beginning of the night, you're not going to see a lot of passing. But I also get that they want to see drivers come through the back to the front in the heat race, where comes in invert. I have seen other sanctions do this recently, where everyone does their group times, and then one person, I believe it's, it could be an official or the person that timed fastest overall, that one person draws an invert. It can be 0, 4, 6, 8, whatever. So let's say the invert is 4. You are fastest in your group, you're gonna start 4th. So it still gives you a fighting chance, but it at least makes it interesting for the fans by mixing it up just a little bit. I'm not saying, do an invert of 10. If you start 10 cars, that is absurd and extremely not fair at all. So one other thing that I have a very big pet peeve of draws at special shows is that I look at it as, little kids that play soccer. Everyone gets a trophy. Everyone is a winner. That is not how racing should be. Racing is a bunch of adults going out and spending a ton of money on their cars and on their equipment and their time. I don't think it's right that, you can go in, look at the draw, and draw number 1, starting from the heat race, there's no passing, so you qualify. I think that racing, when you go to line those cars up for their heat races or for their feature, it should be based on the driver's ability to drive a race car. You know, I don't think a lot of experienced drivers don't want to be starting in the back, and you know, they could possibly wreck their equipment. It's just a lot more to it, and as I said before, I really don't want to upset anyone by saying this, but if you're an inexperienced driver, you're starting on the front row, you know how many accidents and how many crashes that I've seen just because they got lucky and drew the front row? I think everyone deserves a fair fighting chance to qualify, but it shouldn't be by luck of the draw. It should be by the driver's ability. If you want to be able to qualify, you need to learn how to race. You know, it's just like moving up in school. You know, you need to exert yourself and push yourself to get better, to do better, to pass. Well, in order to get better, do better, qualify, you should be able to race. Alright, so all these tracks that do draws, please, just no. I can't stand it. And especially, someone pointed out, is that there are people that mysteriously draw good everywhere. So how does that look on your end when Joe Schmo is always starting on the front row for heat races? Well, when you leave it to time, it's in their hands now, not yours, so the track isn't getting in trouble. So from another perspective, I can also understand from a promoter's point of view is that the more cars that are in that pits, the more money they make. I get it. Bobby whomever that is, that knows he isn't good at time trials, probably isn't going to show up to your race. Well, yeah, that's money that you're not going to get. So I can understand that if they think that they have that slight chance of drawing a really good number, that they're going to go to your race, they're going to probably bring 5 people to pay to go into the pits and attempt to qualify. And maybe they do qualify because they actually do draw well. But would you rather have a feature full of good named drivers and experienced drivers to make the racing exciting, or would you rather have not a full field of big names? And this sounds really bad of me to say this stuff, but just think about it. You know, as I said, I get it, everyone deserves a fighting chance, but by having a draw, it doesn't make a race a real race. It makes it by luck, because you're not allowing the drivers to show their abilities and line up to attempt to qualify off of their driving skills. And I strongly believe that is how it should be done. Okay, so to go off of what some of you guys commented and said. So Amy says, time trials. It makes you be on top of your game. Draws stink. Agreed. Usually stacked heats and no passing, or having to maneuver past slow cars or powered down cars can lead to mayhem. Yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to get at. Alright, Chris, let's see, Chris J926. He says, time trials. At my track, it sure seems like certain people conveniently always draw well. Been doing this for 7 years and have drawn well twice. Wow. Yes, I know exactly how you feel. There are a lot of people out there that never seem to draw well, and a few that just have a lucky hand. So Rob says, draw is the best if the track has multiple grooves that the drivers can pass on. Point said. No race fan wants to see the fast cars start up front. Exactly, and I'm agreeing. At the same time, drivers don't want to be stuck behind a slower car that they can't pass because the track is one lane. Time trial with an inversion is probably the happy medium between drivers and fans. And thank you, Rob. That is exactly what I'm trying to push to all of you tracks out there, series, sanctions, promoters, whomever. At least just give it a shot. Just one race, you know, promote it, tell people that you're gonna do group time trials. You know, it's a fair shot. It's not luck of the draw, it's a fair shot. So as I mentioned, from a promoter's perspective, the more cars, the more people, the more money in your pocket. So it's tough, but do you want to impress your fans with a really good race, or do you want to just impress them with your car count? I don't know, you tell me. So after reading the comments and rambling on with this topic, I think it basically obviously boils down to we all want to be guaranteed a good, fun race. But the drivers also should be guaranteed, you know, the ability to attempt to qualify based on their own driving skills. So that's just what I'm gonna roll with, guys. I strongly suggest time trials. And you know what? Do an invert for the heat races. Don't line them up 1, 2, 3, 4 off their time. Invert 4, 6, 8. Please don't go past 8 because that is absurd, especially if the car count is more than 10, 12 cars in a heat race, because that's just not nice. So if you guys agree with me and you think that special shows should do time trials, and you know what, if your track or your series don't do that, share this video. Let them see why they should do time trials. And you know what, if you don't agree with me, comment below. I want to know what your argument is as to why we shouldn't do time trials. It's stupid, but everyone's got their own opinion. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and come back every day.